Now the last PMS story. In the days when an ice cream sundae cost much less, a 10-year-old boy entered a hotel coffee shop and sat at a table. A waitress put a glass of water in front of him. "How much is an ice cream sundae?" he asked. "50 cents, replied the waitress. The little boy pulled his hand out of his pocket and counted the coins in it. How much is a plain dish of ice cream?" he asked. By now, more people were waiting for a table, and the waitress was growing impatient. 35 cents, she said brusquely. The little boy counted his coins again. "I'll have the plain ice cream," he said. The waitress brought the ice cream, put the bill on the table, and walked away. The boy finished the ice cream, paid the cashier, and left. When the waitress came back, she began to cry as she wiped down the table. There, placed neatly beside the empty dish, were 2 nickels and 5 pennies. You see, he couldn't afford the sundae because he needed enough left to leave her a tip. Always remember those who serve. Education is a prize. Keep your eye on it. Now, before I share my last story, I want you to realize the power education gives you. I want you to understand the peril with which you use that power as you see your life as an equilateral triangle. The equilateral triangle is the strongest of all triangles. You allow either part of that triangle to get out of sync, and your life won't be as solid. Remember PMS. Now, the promise. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow we all want. Eye on the prize. The end of my speech. I have something personal to ask each of you. Pay close attention. Have you met the love of your life, your soulmate? Don't answer that. Because I don't think... Oh, you have? Okay. Okay. But for the rest of you, don't answer that, because I don't think any of you are BFFs, Facebook planking buddies, or friends with benefits qualify. So let me tell you the final story about a young man. We'll call him John. And a young girl, we'll call her Mary. Mary, okay. John and Mary grew up together, dated through high school, and they both went to college. They decided the first 2 years they'd go to different colleges to give each other room to think. But after a year, they transferred to the same college. After they graduated, they got married. Both became teachers. They worked a few years, then decided to have a baby, and were blessed with a lovely little girl. A few years later, John got a new job. They bought a house and decided to have another child. But something was wrong. The wife couldn't get pregnant. So she went to see her doctor, the one who had delivered the first child. It was the summer before their daughter was going to enroll into kindergarten. Her husband was away on a trip when Mary got the news. When he came home, she told him she had cancer. By the time summer was over, Mary was dead. Having lost the love of his life, the husband was devastated. But he still had a little girl he had to take care of, watch over. When school started, he was there, watching her, the image of her mom. Halloween came. It was the first time he'd go trick-or-treating with his little girl without his wife. He put on a brave front, but inside he cried every day. Shortly before Thanksgiving, John lost his job. And then one night, he was sitting at the kitchen table, looking at the bills, wondering how he was going to manage, deciding what bills he would choose not to pay so his daughter would have a wonderful Christmas. He was about to cry when his daughter came into the room. It was about her bedtime, but she had a box that was wrapped only the way a 5-year-old could wrap. "Daddy, I have something for you," she said. He looked up and was immediately irritated. "What have you done? That's expensive wrapping paper, and you've made a mess of it." Unmoved, love in her eyes that saw the deep hurt in his, she held it out for him and said, "Daddy, it's for you." He took a deep breath, did what any good dad would do. He took the box, stood there. She stood there waiting, eyes sparkling, proud of what she'd done. He took his time, trying to unwrap it as best he could without tearing the paper. He opened the box. He looked inside. And to his surprise, there was nothing there. He went ballistic and yelled, "You stupid little girl, don't you know when you give someone something, there should be something inside?" She burst into tears and said, "But Daddy, I filled it with kisses for you." He reached out and grabbed this little girl, hugged her tightly as he once hugged her mom, and they cried together. But the story doesn't end there. Christmas came. They celebrated. He soon found another job as a teacher. His daughter grew up, went to college, got married, moved away. He never married again. But he saved that box. At any time he was sitting lonely, unloved, I needed a hug, he would go to the bedroom. He would reach under the bed, get that box, open it, and take out one of those kisses. You see, it's all in how you package things. A philosopher tells us, a fool knows the price of everything, but the value of nothing. Think of your education as kisses in a box. Value it. It's a prize that will caress you forever and validate you because you earned it. It's something no one can take away. I promise you that. Sometimes it takes a blind person to make us see what's in front of us. And believe me, it is a beautiful day. And it doesn't cost you anything to appreciate it. Okay. I think we're done. I've told you about Schreiner University, provided you stories that will hopefully empower you with empower you to assess your outlook on life, physically, mentally, and spiritually. I hope I've helped you realize people give us boxes filled with promises that can caress, calm, and give us the courage to fulfill our mission in life. Considering getting your education a big part of it. And I leave you with this. Let no one limit you. As Mac Ehrlman wrote, you are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. Keep your eye on the prize. Congratulations, and God bless.